titles, looking for a fourth. And at halftime of Game 1 against the Cavaliers, they lead by 5. Hello again, everyone. It was a defensive first half. Two of the best defensive teams, certainly in the NBA during the regular season, and in the playoffs we saw a lot more of that. Although early on, Tony Parker was magnificent, showing again why he's become one of the elite players in the league.
Well, it's been a Tony Parker half. The guy was absolutely stellar on the offensive end.
And he's part of our Coors Light freeze cam. He got it going early.
Well, he's a pick-and-roll terror, able to find guys in transition, and you put them in an isolation situation. Help comes, does a great job of recognizing 3 guys on me. That means somebody's wide open. Delivers the basketball to Duncan. High percentage shot. Sets up the help coming late. All of a sudden, he picks them apart, executing on the offensive end in transition, isolation to the rim, and then threading the needle, fast break basketball to Elson. It was the Tony Parker show.
Meanwhile, for LeBron James, 0 for 7 from the field. Only had 4 free throws, just 1 assist. So the Cavs have to be a little bit happy about that, but they can't be happy at how effective that Spurs defense has been.
Well, what they've done is they've pushed LeBron James out 1 step, and 1 step makes a huge difference because it allows the ability for the help to come.
And he's part of our Gatorade cooler talk.
Well, here you see what I was saying. James is pushed out to 17, 18 feet. Now he goes to the basket, which gives time for Duncan to come over and support a Bruce Bowen and block the shot. And then in the pick and roll, great show by Oberto. Then he comes to try to attack Bowen, and Oberto fouls him, but is in support again. And then high post isolation. There's Jock Vaughn clogging the lanes. Ginobili does a good job holding his ground and drawing the offensive foul.
So just the 4 free throws for LeBron James, with the Cavs only down by 5. Second straight game in the playoffs. He did not have a field goal in the first half, as we check in with Michelle Tafoya.
All right, well, it's a good thing Jeff Van Gundy just broke it down, because when I asked Greg Popovich how they slowed down LeBron James, he smiled and said, I don't want to tell you. But he said, let's just say we're fortunate he didn't have a great first half. His biggest concern about the second half, pace, keeping it up. He said we slowed down in the second quarter. We have to maintain the pace with which we closed out the half. Now to Stuart Scott with the Cavs.
Thanks a lot, Michelle. I talked to Coach Mike Brown coming out of the locker room, and he said he basically told his team at halftime, we're making too many mental mistakes. He said, we'll be fine. LeBron just has to knock down a couple of shots. I said, what did you say to LeBron about going 0 for 7? He looked at me, he smiled and said, I didn't say anything. He knows what he's got to do. He's got to get it done. Eric Snow did say that he's going to tell LeBron that LeBron is thinking it too much. He said, don't think, just play. Mike?
Well, Stu, a big part of it, he just certainly has stepped up in terms of the type of defense he's facing from the previous rounds, with all due respect to those other teams, including the Pistons.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs are getting it done on the defensive end. They're just playing the numbers, not allowing it to be the LeBron James show. If you're facing Barry Bonds, you walk him. If you're facing LeBron James, you double and triple team.
Alberto, the offensive rebound. Inside to Duncan, and a foul. Duncan will get a chance for the three-point play, but with Alberto's hustle to keep that ball alive.
Extra possessions, whether it be off of a rebound, off of a turnover, it will kill you. The San Antonio Spurs does a great job of picking you apart, getting the ball, and getting high percentage shots.
Well, Duncan goes to the line. Alberto, of course, Manu Ginobili's teammate for the Argentina's national team, the Olympic gold medal winners in 2004. Another rebound off a missed free throw.
I have officially had it.
Finley can't connect. And again, the thing is, the shooter at the free throw line, he has to wait till the ball hits the rim. Everybody else can go in on the release, so it really should never happen.
The 2 guys on the outside have got to come in and pinch and get the free throw line rebound.
James misses 0 for 8. But he still, despite it, he still looks relaxed out there in terms of trying to find his teammates and not forcing the action.
Well, there's no sense in him panicking, because he's just playing basketball. They're making him a jump shooter, and they're double and triple team. So he has to make the right play.
Ilgauskas makes the right defensive play, and Larry Hughes comes down the other end. Hughes on the pull-up. Larry Hughes is an explosive, quick player. He just does not have it. You can tell he's playing. You appreciate him gutting it out, but he's hurting out there with that left foot.
You give him a lot of credit, because a lot of other guys might have folded to 10. But he is a gamer. He's trying to inspire his team. At some point, though, you have to get some healthy bodies in there.
Duncan saves it, but right to James. LeBron James dribbles it off his leg. He says, wait a minute, it's off Duncan. None of the guys with the whistles agree with him.
But that is his best chance to get all the way to the basket. Early in the shot clock in transition.
James now on Parker once again, whereas Hughes is guarding Bowen. Finley. Good defense from Pavlovich. Shot clock down to 3. Bad pass behind Duncan. Turnovers, that's 8 for San Antonio, and Cleveland has 7. Gooden. Nice turnaround shot from Drew Gooden. His 3rd field goal, and it's back to 5.
I tell you what, Drew Gooden is as big a key as anybody as to why the Cavs are in the finals. The way that he played in the playoffs, the Eastern Conference, really was great basketball and set the tone on the defensive end.
Again, he's had some pretty big games, some double-double games. Alberto lines it up, won't go, and James a rebound, his 5th. But still looking for his 1st field goal. Hughes. Pavlovich fires a 3. And Duncan with his 9th rebound. Is a slow pace like this, does that favor either of the two teams?
I don't think it favors either team. I think what you have to do, both teams are defensive-oriented teams. You get stops and you push the ball in transition. The team that puts together a run is going to be a team that gets something going on the offensive end in fast breaks with the basket.
The transition defense for both teams is very good.
Particularly San Antonio against LeBron James.
Nice wraparound pass, but Ilgauskas couldn't hold on. Duncan helping to poke it away. Parker in the paint to the basket, banks it in.
See, that's on Larry Hughes to try to keep him in front, but Ilgauskas was late as the trailer on defense to shut off that seam.
Even in that fast break, you look at Tim Duncan running the floor, does not get the basketball, but he eliminates the help and gives Tony Parker room to play one-on-one.
Gooden does not settle for the jumper, slams it home, and Drew Gooden with 8 points.
Every pick and roll, they're putting 2 on LeBron James. He gives it up. It's opening up opportunities for players like Gooden.
Cavs briefly had a lead in the first half. Spurs, though, have led most of the game. Parker knocks down the jumper. That's what's made him go to the next level.
Absolutely, but that's good defense by LeBron James. Why is he so successful so far guarding Tony Parker? Because he's making him a jump shooter. You can live with him knocking down jump shots.
Parker and Duncan each with 16. James to the basket, inside, banks it in, and there's his 1st field goal after missing his initial 8 shots from the field. Just like Game 6 against Detroit, took them to the 3rd quarter to get it. And his team certainly able to pick up the slack in other ways.
You're LeBron James. You should be the happiest guy on the floor right now. Not getting it going offensively, but you are in a position where you can take over this basketball game and put together a run.
I think the guys who are up by 5 are a little happier right now.
And here you see a great trick by Ilgauskas. You wouldn't call that a screen. Incidental contact. LeBron James all the way to the rim. Again, that was the 2nd pick and roll in that possession. The 2nd pick and roll is harder to guard than the initial one.
James finding Ilgauskas. He's got good range. Not that time. Ginobili the rebound.
Making the right play. Pick and roll basketball. 2 guys come. Gets Ilgauskas a wide open jump shot.
Cavs shooting just 36%. Alberto kicks it out. Bowen for 3. Knocks it down. The defensive specialist also can hit some big 3-pointers. And the Spurs have their largest lead of the game. Coming up on the midway point of the 3rd. Ilgauskas, another good look. Another miss. Rebound, Gooden, back up and in. And there's the offensive board work from Gooden, one of the best in the NBA in offensive rebounding.
Keeping the ball alive and then finishing over the contested hand of Tim Duncan.
And Greg Popovich calls timeout. His team has led most of this game, but sees a little crack and Drew Gooden with another offensive rebound. 10 points for Gooden. Cavs are back within 6.
Bell, think outside the bun. Sprite with Lyman, thank you and obey. And Toyota, moving forward.
Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Get there on Silent Armor Technology. Just past the midway point, third quarter. Spurs up by 6 here in game 1. Our Verizon Stat Track. Shooting numbers and the rebounding numbers both in favor of San Antonio. 3-point field goals certainly even. And the points in the paint. Cavaliers, though, doing a decent job creating off those turnovers. Parker, alley-oop to Ginobili. Didn't have the handle, but still able to tip it in.
And that's a play they got from the Argentinian national team. They run that all the time for Ginobili on his national team, and there Parker threw a perfect lob.
That's where he's the Tim Duncan of that team. The main option. Gooden misses, but he drew a foul. Ilgauskas' tip won't go. Instead, Gooden will go to the line.
And this is just good recognition. The handoff and is a setup play. Ginobili sets up, lulls asleep, explodes to the basket. The fine delivery from Tony Parker, and Ginobili finished.
Foul down the other end on Alberto. Gooden will go to the line. Gooden again could be such a key player. He made a Final Four in college with Kansas. Played 3 years in Kansas. The 4th overall pick back in 2002 with Memphis. And went to Orlando his first 2 years. This now his 3rd year with the Cavs. He has led the NBA in trade rumors in the past couple of years. But they re-signed him this summer. He was so happy to stay in Cleveland. His dad played pro ball over in Finland for many years. Grew up in the Bay Area. Credits his dad for where he is today. But he's just happy to stay with the Cavs. He was rumored to go to a lot of different places before the trading deadlines the past couple of years. Duncan. Banker won't go. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touch by either James or Gooden. It's Spurs ball.
And what a lopsided trade that was for Cleveland. Not only did they get Gooden, they also got the rights to Varejao for Tony Battie and a couple second-round picks. That's a lopsided trade.
Well, you got to feel bad for the guy who coaches Orlando.
Boy, don't I.
Congratulations to brother Stan, by the way.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him. He did a great job at Miami. Getting a second opportunity, he'll do a great job there.
Robert Horry for 3. In and out. Bowen, the offensive rebound. And the Spurs getting some second chance opportunities.
And the key to being a great defensive team, you can't give up second shot opportunities. Get it done defensively and then close out by gang rebound.
Duncan. Good position. Triple team. Ginobili for 3. Bang! 9-point lead, largest of the game.
So precise. Take the double team, get rid of the basketball, extra pass. You wind up with a high percentage. Good look at the rim.
Crowd wanted a palm. James just lost control. James spinning. Double team. Gooden again. Gooden having a nice game. 6 of 7 from the field. 10 points here in the third quarter.
Talk about the strength of LeBron James. Just a spin move sent Bruce Bowen into the first row.
Parker inside to Duncan. 18 for Duncan, 16 for Parker to go along with 7 assists. And this crowd on its feet. James for 3. Won't go. 1 for 10 from the field. This could be a dangerous time for Cleveland right now. Parker to the rim. And gets the roll. Timeout, Cavaliers. First double-digit lead of the night. LeBron James just 1 of 10 from the field. This is only field goal, as the Spurs defensively have done it. And their big three of Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker playing well again. For another. And he does it in the land of the Giants.
Here's what you love. He's third in the NBA in the postseason in points in the paint, averaging 9.9 per game, getting to the paint, adding that jump shot. Virtually, like I said, makes him unguardable.
James inside and gets the roll. LeBron James now attacking the basket, his second field goal.
And what they did, instead of putting him in a pick and roll, they ran him off a baseline screen where he curled and drove it to the rim.
Bowen shot halfway down. Here comes James. Hooked away from behind by Horry, and Ginobili comes the other way. 3-on-2. Parker alley-oop to Duncan, but he can't get it to fall.
That might have been completed about 5 years ago. But here they bring James to the baseline. Now he's coming off screen. The entire defense can't focus on him, and now he's able to get it all the way to the basket, and a great finish with his left.
So the adjustment here from Mike Brown and LeBron James. Dangerous pass deflected by Ginobili. 10 on the shot clock.
It really is a better adjustment because he's catching the basketball and not staring down 4 other help defenders. It puts him in a position where he only has to beat one guy and get a good look at the rim.
The Cavs are shooting just 30% from the field. Daniel Gibson trying to get some offense going. Knocked out of bounds. Still Cleveland ball with 2 left on the 24. Mike Brown will call out a play.
I once asked Bruce Bowen, how are you such a great defender? What is your mindset? He said, I play like I'm playing one-on-one. I ignore everybody behind me and concentrate solely on the guy I am defending.
Bad pass stolen by Ginobili. Ginobili goes it good, hard foul. And they're going to call it in the act of shooting. And I think they'll discuss whether or not it's a flagrant. Mike Callahan bringing Steve Javie over to talk about it, whether or not they think it deserves a flagrant foul.
That was definitely a flagrant foul right there.
The definition of a flagrant foul is unnecessary contact. It has nothing to do with going for the head or going for the ball.
I don't know.
That replay, it doesn't look like it.
That's my fault. I thought he had grabbed him around the head.
And it is a flagrant foul. A flagrant 1. So that means 2 shots and the ball.
Well, you got to give Ginobili credit because he's a heck of an actor. Drew Gooden with the contact, but Ginobili also sold the contact.
But you know why it was a good call in my estimation was that left hand from Gooden came flying around, and that little wind-up there was unnecessary, and that's the definition of a flagrant.
Drew Gooden, you're back there guarding one of the best finishers in all of basketball. Your job is not to allow him to get a 3-point play.
Or get to his left hand.
Easier said than done with Ginobili. He misses the first again. After the second free throw, they'll take the ball out of bounds. As the lead is back up to 10. Gooden has had a terrific third quarter. That time, getting called for the flagrant foul. Here's David Wesley, inactive. A veteran. Plays for Jeff in Houston. Is he an assistant coach now?
No, he's on the injury list, but I'll tell you what, he's worked his whole career to get to this point. What a thrill, even though he's not suited up, for a guy who's last year, maybe this year, to end it in a finals run. I'm very happy for David.
And what's most impressive also, he's not a guy just sitting on the bench enjoying the ride. He is into this thing being part of a team.
Vaughn misses. Varejao the rebound. 10-point San Antonio lead. 2 minutes remaining in the third. LeBron James to the basket. Duncan the rebound.
Great early help by Ginobili on the baseline drive by James.
Ginobili to the basket. And Duncan the rebound. Takes his time, lost it. Ginobili gets it. And they'll reset. Varejao too aggressive on his defense. Commits the foul on Duncan. That's the 3rd team foul and the 2nd on Varejao.
Robert Horry does a great job of picking his spots. Caught the ball on the weak side. There's times where he would just jack up that 3. Very patient and allowed Tim Duncan to get low post position.
Zeke Gibson back in the game, guarding Ginobili. Vaughn to Horry. Bowen. Three-pointer. Puts it in. Largest lead of the game.
You can't have Varejao to trap the pick and roll and then close all the way to the weak side corner. That's got to be Donyell Marshall's rotation.
Gibson on a drive. The floater. Can't get it to fall. Varejao keeps it alive, but it hit the baseline, and the Spurs will get it back as they're starting to take control of this game.
And what makes the Spurs so effective on the offensive end, there's no ball stoppers. There's nobody catching the ball and holding on to it. They're getting rid of it quickly and finding the open man.
Duncan once again. Makes his move on Varejao. A hip fake. The back shot. 15-point lead. And Mike Brown has to call timeout. A 20-second timeout as the Spurs way. Right now they lead 64-49. 11 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Well, almost everything going their way. Tony Parker thought that Duncan made it. No, you missed it. What's wrong with you?
Are you kidding me? He says, you're better than that, Timmy.
That's a back-in-the-day play. Back in the day, Duncan would have finished that. He's 31 now, coming off a year with plantar fasciitis, the new disease of the NBA.
Marshall fires away. Can't get it to fall. The shooting woes continue for Cleveland. They're just 2 of 9 from three-point range.
I can't say enough about Bruce Bowen, though. He's a guy that your job is to be a stopper. You may get a touch, you may not, but he goes out, handles his business, and he is a crucial part of the success of the Spurs as any.
Shot clock winding down for Ginobili. Puts up a shot, falling away. Rebound, Jack Vaughn, and they'll hold it for the final shot of the period. Horry the fake. Puts it up and off the mark. And lead by 15 as we head to the fourth. There's another look at our fantastic four to watch. As we'll start with Bruce Bowen, once again doing a great job on LeBron James.
Good team defense starts with good individual defense. Here, Bowen contains him, but on the spin, Horry and Ginobili help. And even though Gooden makes the shot, it's tough. Here, James drives baseline. Ginobili over, almost outside the lane to give help on the trap of the box. A good sink by Finley, a good rebound. Wow, that's great defense.
And our fantastic four is LeBron James and the big three for San Antonio tonight. Well, what a great defensive job. That is the story right now of game one. The superb team defense of the San Antonio Spurs. Ginobili spinning outside the Bowen. Robert Horry for three. It's good. 18-point lead for the San Antonio Spurs.
So efficient, so precise. They make each other better on the defensive end by helping, and it's contagious. It takes over with the same mentality offensively. Bowen rewarding a spot-up shooter in Horry for an open look.
Varejao drives against Elson. Nice fake. Shot blocked. But he also got a piece of the arm. And Varejao will shoot two. As Elson picks up his first. Varejao a little shaken up. As Duncan getting a rest. Varejao, as Jeff mentioned earlier, started off in Orlando but didn't play. Was a second-round pick of the Magic. Was acquired in that Gooden trade. Came to the United States. Didn't speak a word of English. But he took English classes. And with help from Zydrunas Ilgauskas, who's become a great friend of him, really helped him learn English. And he's actually become a terrific interview. He doesn't think he speaks it well, but man, oh man, he expresses himself well. He gives a lot of the credit to Ilgauskas.
And you know the first word he learned of English? Flop.
It's a good thing he didn't hang out with a bunch of guys I grew up with, because he still wouldn't be speaking a word of English.
His second word he learned is rebound, because he excels at that as well, as Gibson called for the foul.
And oh, he was the mortgage payment for many a year. He paid that mortgage, and he didn't get to play in the '99 finals against the Spurs due to injury. But what a great career he had.
Well, there's a guy that I'm living in the hills because of him. My kids call him Uncle Patrick.
Of course, he played in the '94 finals, where the Knicks lost to the Rockets. Had an 8-block game, and tied an NBA Finals record. One of the great centers and a certain future Hall of Famer.
And I coached with him down in Houston for 3 years, and he got out of Dodge just in the right time before I got fired.
Duncan had to throw it up as the shot clock was winding down. Again, Cavs still have plenty of time. Only down 14 with 5:45, but it's been tough for them to score 14 over a long period tonight. Pavlovic lost it momentarily, knocks it down, and it's now a dozen.
You see the attention paid to LeBron James coming off pick and rolls. They trap him, they get the ball out of his hands. Pavlovic steps into a rhythm jump shot.
Varejao really battling to deny Duncan. The officials letting them play pretty physical basketball down low. Horry kicks it out. Parker, open jumper. And Duncan, the offensive rebound. Back up and in. "22 points and 12 rebounds for Duncan to go along with 4 block shots.
And that really takes a lot out of you. Varejao steps in for the charge, does not get the call. Tim Duncan, after good defense, gets a second shot opportunity and an easy lane.
Nice pass. James to Varejao. 3rd assist for James. Varejao in double figures with 10.
It is scary when you think about how good LeBron James is and also how good he will be for a long time to come. This guy is special.
He only has 3 assists, but his teammates have not been able to knock down shots.
But a lot of hockey assists where he's making the pass that leads to the pass that leads to the shot.
Bowen lost it, felt he got bumped. And here's Daniel Gibson. Pavlovic spinning inside, blocked by Duncan, number 5. He had a 9-block game earlier in the playoffs.
It's just solid help defense. Probably trying to back in the smaller Tony Parker, but helping the guy defensively. Duncan comes over from the weak side, says, get it out of here.
Excellent ball denial from Bowen. Pavlovic. Good on Horry. Good defense from Robert Horry, a very underrated defender. Point game, just under 4 to play. Bowen with a good look. Not that time. But Duncan, another offensive board.
Is there anything that Tim Duncan does not do on the floor? I mean, this guy, he's a scientist.
Parker, Ginobili, and a wave it off, an offensive foul. Varejao steps in and draws the charge. And as Tony Parker picks up his first.
We should have a new stat.
Here we go.
No, listen. You know, you have field goals attempted. We should have charges attempted. Varejao has put his body in front of the ball 5 or 6 times. He hasn't gotten a couple of the calls, but he has gotten a few of them. And these aren't flops. He's taken legitimate hits.
Well, he leads the team in charges, and as we said, has led the league in charges taken for 48 minutes. Doesn't play huge minutes. James kicks it out. Pavlovic inside, and a blocking foul called on Horry. And Sasha Pavlovic will shoot 2 with a chance to cut it to 10.
I love the way this kid is playing. He's aggressive, he's attacking. Here he puts the ball to the ground, goes by Ginobili, and that's clearly the correct call. That's a block.
Pavlovic from Serbia and Montenegro, drafted by the Jazz, played 1 year in Utah. And now in his 3rd year with the Cavs, he's another one of those who's been feast or famine, but this year he developed some consistency. And the main reason he's played better defense, so Mike Brown giving him more minutes, and he's responded at both ends of the floor. A reminder, you can see every game of the finals right here on ABC, 8:30 Eastern. Game 2 Sunday right here in San Antonio. Then it shifts to Cleveland for Game 3 on Tuesday. Games 3, 4, and 5 will be in Cleveland on the 2-3-2 format. And then, if necessary, games 6 and 7 back here in San Antonio. Duncan and Pavlovich gets it. Couldn't. Wasn't ready.
Good job by LeBron James containing Tony Parker, not gambling, keeping him in front of him.
Cavs trying to get back in the game. Robert Horry stripped by Gooden. Gibson ahead to Pavlovich. Drives to the basket. Up! And puts it in. Nice athletic move from Sasha Pavlovich. And it's single digits. A 13-4 run.
My goodness, did you just see that move? Catching the ball in transition, takes it away from Duncan, and finishes on the opposite side.
2.5 remaining. Will it be too late? Ginobili stripped but fouled. And Manu Ginobili will go to the line. Well, we'll take a timeout before. Sasha Pavlovich, impressive move.
Incredible athletic move. Tim Duncan coming from the weak side, using the rim as a shield, finishing. That's a dunk. Tim Duncan, you're in the poster. Some would say that's a throw-in. I say that's a dunk. Pavlovich getting it done. Get in there.
So hoping Schilling didn't get that no-hitter. I mean, it's gotten to the point as we see R.C. Buford, the great general manager of the San Antonio Spurs, it's gotten to the point where he's rooting against the Red Sox more than he's rooting for the Yankees.
Meanwhile, the Spurs back up by double figures. This happened to them in the Utah series in both the first 2 games. Big leads. The Jazz made runs to make you think, okay, maybe they got a shot. Parker, blocked by James. And then a foul on Ginobili, not a smart foul. LeBron James recovering to throw that one away.
Job of getting back, and then says to Tony Parker, not on my watch. Some would say that's a goaltender, but LeBron James says that's a blocked shot. He catches it on the way up.
Yep. And it did not hit the backboard first. So a good clean block. 2 minutes to go. Down 11. Gibson for 3. Puts it in. Daniel Gibson from downtown. And it's an 8-point game.
And that's the right play. The possession prior to that, LeBron James tried to make a home run play and thread the needle to Varejao in the paint. That time took what the defense gave him, found Gibson for an open jump.
Ginobili across the lane, stripped by Gibson, but he gets it back. Shot clock down to 5. Parker on the drive. Gets it to Duncan, stripped and knocked away. Gibson with the steal, his 3rd of the game. James surveying the situation. Steps back for 3. Won't go. Those were the shots he was hitting in that 48-point game, but not tonight. He's 4 of 16.
And if he hits that shot, you say, wow. But in this position, that's not a good shot. You want to keep on picking them apart and get quality shots. Make plays for someone else.
Duncan. Back to 10. What a turnaround. They could have cut it to 5 instead. It's a double-figure lead. Poked out of bounds by Horry. So it appears the Cavs will come up short here in game 1. As LeBron James going to the bench. 4 of 16 from the field, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. A spectacular defensive job from San Antonio.
And in this series, it could be the first to 80 wins every game because the defenses of both teams are solid. San Antonio has more offensive weapons.
Really, what it comes down to is when the Cavs needed a basket, it was an off-balance fadeaway 3 for LeBron. The Spurs come back and pick them apart, pick and roll, high percentage lay-in for Duncan.
Gibson has shot the ball well. Does it again. Gibson 6 of 8 from the field. They've got to get him more shots.
If I'm Mike Brown, not only do I give him more shots, but I give him more minutes on the floor.
The rookie with 14 points. And the Cavs obviously not fouling, down by 8. Gonna let this one finish. too early to play this way, or as Parker cuts to the basket? Well, now it doesn't matter. And Parker with a chance for a three-point play. What a game from Tony Parker.
I think the right play not to foul in that position because the game is basically over. Tony Parker still in attack mode, off the pick and roll, goes away from the screen, finishes in traffic, and gets the foul.
And the other defenders, besides James, have to learn from James on how they want to defend Parker. There, Gibson was pressuring up the floor. They've got to back it up so he doesn't get ahead of steam at the basket.
David Robinson applauding his former teammate, Tim Duncan. 24 points, 13 rebounds, 4 block shots, and 2 steals. Just another day at the office for Tim Duncan. That's what he's done his entire career.
And in the finals, this guy for his career is averaging 23 points and 15 rebounds. On the biggest stage, he continues to amaze.
Already has 3 finals MVPs. And his team has a Game 1 victory in these finals. Gibson again. Good shooting from Daniel Gibson. 7 of 9 from the field, but the Cavs will come up short as the Spurs will dribble it out. They've now won 7 of their last 8 playoff games in this run, and they take Game 1 of the 2007 NBA Finals. A tough night for LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. He'll get another chance Game 2 Sunday. Tonight was Tim Duncan on the Spurs, and Duncan's with Michelle.
Well, Tim, after 7 days off and facing an opponent you had not seen since January, what did it feel like for this team to finally get out on the floor and land the first punch in this series?
You know what? It felt like we played a month ago, and it was just good to get out there and get some of that rust off, kind of get back in the flow of things. Our shooters didn't shoot great. You can see that was there, but we played well all around defensive end, and we got it done.
The defense was superb, particularly on LeBron James. How would you describe the kind of effort that team defense required?
It's going to be an incredible effort the entire series. I know he's going to come back even stronger next game, but we did a heck of a job tonight, and we're happy with it.
Yeah, looking ahead, was there anything you saw tonight that concerns you come Game 2?
You know what? They started to really do a good job towards the end of the game. They got a couple layups, a couple easy shots before they were big, so we'll have to clean that up a little bit.
Congrats on the first win.
Thank you.
Mike?
All right, Michelle, Duncan and his team, another terrific total team effort as they take Game 1, 85-76. So it's now time for the Cavs to try and turn it around and adjust. They'll get that chance coming up on Sunday night right back here in San Antonio. And we'll be back after this time.